My stepchild was actively trying to break up my partner and me. And for a little while, it was actually working. I felt like I was going crazy, second-guessing every single thing I did, and the person I loved most in the world was starting to look at me like I was the enemy. This is the story of the moment that saved our relationship and our family, and the hard steps we had to take to turn our home from a war zone into a team.
If you're part of a blended family, you don't need me to tell you it's one of the toughest and most rewarding things you'll ever do. But sometimes it feels like it's all tough and no reward. You might feel like you're walking on eggshells in your own home, or that you're constantly being tested. That's a super common feeling, that sense of trying to find your way through a maze of loyalties and old wounds. In fact, a stepchild's manipulative behavior often comes from a place of fear, confusion, or just a desperate attempt to hold on to their biological parent. Today, I'm not just sharing my story. I'm going to walk you through exactly how we pulled our family back from the edge. If you've ever felt alone in this struggle, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because this channel is for you. We're building a community of people who actually get it. When my partner and I decided to build a life together, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. He had a child from his last relationship, and I was ready for the challenge of being a step-parent. In the beginning, things were okay. A little awkward, sure, but I expected that. My whole mindset was to just be an observer at first, to get a feel for their family dynamic before I tried to find my own place in it. I didn't push for a title or any specific kind of relationship. I just focused on building a bond with her slowly and letting it happen naturally. The first red flags were tiny. A chore she forgot to do that I somehow got blamed for not reminding her about. My favorite snack that would accidentally end up in the trash. They were so small, they were easy to brush off. My partner would say things like, "Oh, that's just how teenagers are." And for a while, I bought it. But then, the stories started. My stepdaughter would tell my partner I'd said something critical about him, or his parenting. She would twist my words, taking a casual comment and making it sound like a nasty judgment. I remember this one night so clearly. My partner came to me, his face all tight with worry and hurt, and asked, "Did you really say you think I'm too soft on her?" I'd said the complete opposite, that I admired his patience. But the seed of doubt was planted. This is a classic divide and conquer tactic, and it doesn't always come from a place of malice, but often from a deep-seated insecurity or a misguided sense of loyalty. I felt like I was constantly on defense, trying to prove I wasn't the villain she was making me out to be. The trust between my partner and me, the very thing that made us so strong, was starting to crack.
It got worse from there. It wasn't just about making me look bad anymore. It felt like a full-on campaign to get me out of the house for good. She started getting her other biological parent and their family involved, feeding them stories that painted me as some kind of monster. The phone would ring, and my partner would be stuck on an hour-long call, calming down his ex-wife who was furious about something I had supposedly done. I felt like I was under siege. If I tried to enforce a rule, I was overstepping. If I gave her space, I was cold and distant. If I tried to connect with her, I was trying too hard to replace her mom. There was literally no right move, and the more she saw her behavior was getting to me, the more she did it. My partner was trapped, and it was tearing him apart. He loved his daughter, and he loved me, but he couldn't see the manipulation for what it was. He just saw two people he loved in conflict, and his first instinct was to try and keep the peace. He'd say, "I don't want to be put in the middle," a phrase that I'm sure many of you have heard. But I didn't need a referee. I needed a teammate. The fighting was infecting every part of our lives, and we were both miserable. It felt like she was winning. It felt like our marriage was failing. I remember one night, after a really bad argument, I was sitting alone in the living room and just felt this crushing sense of failure. I thought, maybe she's right. Maybe I don't belong here. That's the thing about manipulation. It's designed to get into your head and mess with your emotions. And I was at my breaking point. The breaking point finally came on a completely random Tuesday. My stepdaughter had told my partner a huge lie, that I had read her private journal. It was a total fabrication, but it was such a personal and damaging accusation. When my partner came to me, he didn't ask me if it was true. He asked me why I would do it. And in that moment, something inside me just snapped. I packed a small bag. I had no idea where I was going. I just knew I couldn't stay in that house. A house where my character could be so easily destroyed, where the trust was just gone. Seeing me standing there with that bag in my hand was the turning point. It was the shock to the system my partner needed. The idea of us ending, which had always been a hypothetical, was suddenly very, very real. That night, we didn't yell. We talked for hours. It was the most honest, painful conversation we have ever had.
I told him everything. Not just the facts of what had been happening, but how it was making me feel. Isolated, attacked, and worst of all, untrusted by him. I explained that by trying to stay neutral, he was unintentionally siding with the manipulation. And that's where the healing started, actually seeing and saying how much everything hurt. That night, he finally, truly heard me. He understood this wasn't just teenage drama. It was sabotage, and it was destroying us. That conversation didn't fix everything overnight, but it was the moment we stopped fighting each other and started facing the problem as a team. This journey is so hard, and it's ridiculously easy to feel like you're the only one going through it. If any of this is hitting home for you, please take a second to hit that like button. It really helps this video find other step-parents who might be feeling as lost as I was. And if you have a story to share, please leave it in the comments. Let's start a real conversation and support each other.
Getting to that turning point was awful, but what came next was the real work. We rebuilt our family on three main ideas, our three pillars. Pillar 1, a united front. This was the single biggest change we made. We decided, together, that our relationship had to be the rock-solid foundation of our home. We started having weekly check-in meetings, just the two of us, to talk about what was going on. This wasn't a complaint session. It was about strategy. We agreed on parenting goals, house rules, and consequences together, behind closed doors. The new rule was simple. We are a team. My partner would be the one to deliver any discipline, especially at the beginning of this reset, which is a great strategy to help rebuild trust, but I would back him up, and he would back me up. We presented every decision as coming from us. That divide and conquer game, it stopped working overnight. Pillar 2, boundaries with consequences. Next, we had to draw some clear, firm lines in the sand. We sat down as a family and calmly laid out the house rules and our expectations for how we would talk to each other. We made it crystal clear that lying and manipulation were not okay. This wasn't a lecture. It was a conversation about the kind of home we all deserve to live in. And this is key, we attached real, logical consequences to those boundaries. For example, if she was caught in a big lie, she'd lose a privilege, like her phone. The message wasn't, "You're bad." It was, "In this family, your actions have consequences." It was about teaching, not just punishing. It was so hard at first, and she tested every single boundary we set. But we stayed consistent, and slowly, she learned that manipulation wasn't going to get her anywhere. Pillar 3, professional reinforcements. We knew we couldn't do it alone. The patterns were just too deep. So we found a family therapist who specialized in blended families, and it was a total game changer. The therapist gave my stepdaughter a safe space to talk about her feelings of fear and loss without having to act out destructively. It also gave my partner and me a neutral person to help us figure out how to talk to each other again. The therapist helped us understand that her behavior was coming from a feeling of powerlessness and fear about all the changes in her life. Understanding the why didn't excuse the behavior, but it did let us approach her with more empathy and less anger. It helped us all learn a new way to communicate. Rebuilding our family was not fast, and it was not easy. It took years of being patient, being consistent, and being willing to have uncomfortable conversations. We had setbacks. There were plenty of days I just wanted to quit. But we clung to those 3 pillars: our united front, our firm boundaries, and the support from our therapist. Today, my relationship with my stepdaughter isn't perfect, because no family is. But it's real. It's built on respect, not fear. She knows that my partner and I are a team, and trying to manipulate one of us won't work. We can laugh together, we can have serious talks, and most importantly, our home is finally a peaceful place, not a battlefield. There's a lot of hope in knowing that many grown stepchildren look back and appreciate the step-parent who was consistent and kind, even when it was tough. If you're in the middle of it right now, please hear me. You're not alone, and this is not hopeless. The most important thing is the strength of your partnership. Protect it. Prioritize it. And from that strong foundation, you can start to rebuild. It's a slow, hard journey, but a happy, thriving, blended family is possible. It's a family that isn't just born. It's built, one tough conversation at a time. Tell the stories about how you had to let go of control and expectations to be able to thrive in your family. And also about your daily practice of reading Psalms in the Bible in the morning for protection from outside influences, and how now you have created moments that everyone cherishes, like the Christmas tree decoration day, or Saturdays making homemade pizza together while watching a Beethoven movie, or the occasional chocolate treat shared after school.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share your own wins in the comments to give some hope to others. We'll see you in the next one.